My name is Maria. My husband is Josh, and we have 3 children, Atticus, Ralph, and Poppy. And we live in Nashville, Tennessee.
These are real uncomfortable. Yeah, take them.
Ralphie is our spunky middle kid. He was born very quiet and has used an outside voice, I feel, ever since. He's exactly what we need to kind of keep our spirits up and keep us laughing. Poppy is our firecracker, the only girl, and she's the baby. She is just an absolute joy in our family. She has completed us in ways that we really needed, to be quite honest with you. Atticus, oh, he is truly just one of the loves of my life. He is joy-filled, just an overall sweet child. That's how I would describe him. Very smart too, very smart. I remember noticing at the very beginning of the school year that he just would be like, I don't really feel well. I don't really want to go to school, you know, and I'm just thinking, well, you're not getting out of school. Sharing with us that his stomach would hurt and he would have headaches, and they just started getting, you know, a little bit more pronounced and a little bit more severe. His doctor had asked us to just write down everything, just keep a log, essentially. And, you know, if at any point I started to really feel uncomfortable, to give him a call. So that's when things changed, was truly January of 2021. I got a call from his pediatrician, and his pediatrician just said, "Are you home?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "I can't talk to you until I know you're safely home." And I just said, "Oh my God, oh my God." And he's like, "Maria, just take a deep breath, just get safely home and call me back." We had no idea what was going to unfold in front of us. He just said, "I am so sorry, but there is a very large tumor in Atticus's brain." And they knew pretty immediately that it was medulloblastoma. And he just kind of spouted off different things. "We need you to get to the hospital now. They are waiting for you. They are prepared for you. We're likely gonna do surgery later this week." That's how we found out. You know, it was forever changed in an instant. No matter what happens, like in life, like that was the moment that has changed our family forever.
Ready?
I used to say why a lot. Why this child? It felt pointless because why not him? He's no better or greater than anyone else's child. I've tried really hard to change the tune to it to become, why not us? Look what we're gonna do with this. Watch us. We had a meeting with his oncology team, and it was at that point where we learned about the pathology, the protocol recommendation, and Proton was presented to us.
So proton therapy is a form of radiation therapy. Protons uses hydrogen atoms that can be very precise. Proton radiation has less side effects and will spare normal tissues.
As it turns out, there's actually a proton center just 2 miles up the road from us. So I just naturally assumed that's where we would go, but we'll go wherever we need to have it done right and to have it done with the best care. My husband had already been made aware that Cincinnati was really the leader for pediatric oncology. I think just with that simple knowledge, it was an immediate yes.
There are about 40 or so proton centers in the United States. Cincinnati is only one of the few in the country, if not the only one in the country, that has a dedicated research gantry which we can do research on. So not only are we using cutting edge technology currently to treat tumors, we're also studying how we can make that better. We have medical oncologists who are experts in medulloblastoma. We have radiation oncologists who are experts in delivering proton therapy. And we have a social support system that supports people like Atticus coming from long ways away so he can get through proton therapy to do well later on in life.
Proton and CBDI, they're located in the same building up at the Liberty campus. It just all felt like it was one area, one piece. Sometimes we would go upstairs and he would receive his chemo. Sometimes we would go down the hall and we would do physical therapy. But being 5 days a week and somewhat daunting there, it went by quite fast, actually. Our social worker graciously put us in touch with a woman who started a foundation in Cincinnati called the Bold and Brave Kids Foundation, which actually provides housing to visiting patients such as us and provides a respite for families. And they're fully furnished apartments. It felt like a godsend because I was hitting a wall financially too. We were in Cincinnati for a total of 6 weeks. Once we finally moved into the apartment, it just made our gratitude that much sweeter to have space to be able to live in.
Child life is a unique role. We're in charge of the psychosocial support of not only kids, but their siblings and their families, parents, any person that comes with them. I remember the first time meeting Atticus was first in the lobby of the Proton Therapy Center. And I remember within the first 5 minutes of meeting Atticus, he said like 5 vocabulary words that I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to go look those up. But I was just taken aback by how sweet, kind, smart, but also scared, and how Atticus probably could end up having a better understanding of proton therapy than I do myself, but that he still needed an added support person. And I think the second he walked through the proton therapy doors, we knew that we were meeting a really cool kid.
When Mom and Dad found out that you had to go to Cincinnati Children's, were you scared about going up there?
I wasn't too scared, but when I first found out and my dad told me, I honestly at first thought he was joking.
Can you tell me from your point of view what proton therapy is?
So they put you on like a bed almost as if you're gonna go into like an MRI or a CT scan. And they put, for me, that mask on.
What is on this mask?
So it's Harry Potter, that's Harry, that's Voldemort. That's kind of like one of the main things that they fought over in the 7th movie, the Elder Wand.
So they let you paint your mask?
Uh-huh.
Did you do that or did somebody else do that?
Somebody else did, but I gotta like choose what they would paint on it.
One of our big connecting points was Harry Potter. He's a huge Harry Potter fan. I wore my Harry Potter socks for him, and I did throughout treatment as well. We talk about our favorite characters. That's something that I love and enjoy too.
I didn't have much hair at the time, so I'm like, why not go as Voldemort? Because he doesn't have much hair. I probably can't do this for another 50 years.
Did it feel weird to have your head shaved?
I kind of liked it. My head was pretty soft.
One of the very early days of Atticus going to his proton treatment and our child life specialist, Carly, obviously she could see on my face just the fear that was gripping me. And she turned right around and she just bear hugged me. The fact that she just stopped and recognized my heart breaking and did what she could to comfort me. I mean, her job as the child life specialist is to comfort the child. That was really, like I said, it's a core memory of mine. I feel like I can still feel that hug. I loved it. It solidified a lifelong relationship that we will forever have with Cincinnati Children's.
From day one, there's all these butterflies and fears and anxiety, working through that, support, explaining what's gonna happen, thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do this for 30 treatments. Cut to Atticus like skipping back to treatment, excited to tell us about what he did the day before in what probably simultaneously feels like a blink of an eye, but also an eternity. He's done and he's here for his end of treatment celebration.
When Atticus finished his radiation, they had a beautiful like ringing of the bell kind of ceremony in the lobby. And right before we left, one of the cool things we got to do is take a pin on this large map, and we put a pin in Nashville as representation of a child who came up to Cincinnati Children. And I think that speaks volumes too. When you look at the map and you see pins all over, there is a draw for families to come there. Every single one of those pins represents the larger family of Cincinnati Children's. This is certainly not the ending within his book, just merely a chapter. Our family's there to provide that hope that there's so much more beautiful life ahead that's possible. This was always going to be Atticus's life. And in those early days when I would ask why and beg for it to be taken away and just feel that self-pity for me, for him, for our family, that we had to deal with this, we did do the best we could. I stand by the best decisions, and now we just see how life plays itself out. Right now, it's going great. I would have given anything to have seen a child like Atticus 2 years out of, that first portion of treatment. Being a normal kid, walking to his bus stop, studying for his accelerated math test on the Science Olympiad team. I did not know that that was going to be possible. And if I can provide just a little of hope for another parent to cling to, that's then the reason that this happened. That's it right there. That's the why. And it sucks to have to go through something so traumatic, but I truly, truly believe that's the answer I was always searching for, is we will be that glimmer of hope then.